I'm Olivia Davis.
And I'm Catherine Silver. I'm Olivia's mom, and I have been training for the Badass Lady Gang Turkey Trot so that I could run a 5K and survive. So I'm a nurse, and I've been trying to open a hospice house in our community. Families, we go along being absolutely blind to our loved ones' declines until it becomes a crisis. And then suddenly the family members have to come together, often from all parts of the country, and learn how to manage opioid medications, toileting and hygiene, all the psychosocial developmental markers that go with somebody who is dying. Family members shouldn't have to be the only support people to take care of somebody when they're that fragile and that helpless. People at the end of life should not have to have the conversation first about, so I have this room available, but we need to talk about how you're going to pay for it. So there actually is a model called the Omega House where the community is keeping the doors open so that anybody who needs care gets care. So I want to open a hospice house. How do you raise money during COVID? I was talking to Olivia about doing a virtual 5K, and she's like, well, Badass Lady Gang's doing a turkey trot. You should be able to run a 5K if you're going to host one. So we created the Autumn Leaf 2020 virtual 5K as a benefit for Stillwater's Hospice House.
So I chose to do the fall program because when we started this year with the monthly mile time trials, I was terrified. I also thought my life was going in a really different direction. So I was using that. I was actually going to join the Navy before my birthday in July and go be a medic. And then, the dumpster fire of a year has happened and now I'm not. I can grind out long runs, that slow, steady state. I hate speed. Sprints into the so I started with those, and then we did the summer race series. I work much better with structure in my life and with everything going everywhere. There are days right now I'm not working. I just actually got a job. I got the call yesterday that I got a job. But there have literally been days during this training program that the only thing that's gotten me out of bed is knowing that I have a workout to do, and knowing that there's this huge community that if I'm not motivated, I can hop onto Mighty Networks and see everybody else's workouts and be like, okay, it's 45 minutes or it's an hour or it's the track workout. The track workouts still really scare me, but knowing that there's this amazing group of women and individuals behind me has helped so much. I don't even have words. I'm actually tearing up a little bit because it's become so important to me to have that structure to move my body and feel proud that I'm moving my body in ways that are difficult and challenging.
I gave birth to a child who's now a woman who thinks running 10 miles on a Saturday is a good idea and does it often. So I stand in awe of this woman because I know what her obstacles have been. And at any point, she could have chosen something different that would have been way less healthy emotionally and physically. It's great. It's great to see her grow into this powerful woman and who inspires others to get out and move.
Initially, when my mom had called me about trying to fundraise for this hospice house, which I have lived in a lot of rural areas, and I've worked in a hospital setting as a CNA and in home care, and knowing that there is a need in literally every community for what she wants to build. And when I got her on board with the 5K, it was the added motivation. If you're going to put it on, you might as well try running some of it. And then it was perfect timing because I moved up here in the first week of the Badass Lady Gang Turkey Trot training posted on Instagram. And I was like, look, there's a training plan ready made for you.
When she gave me the first week's training for the turkey trot and what it is run a minute, walk 3, I'm like, you're trying to kill me. I'm not going to survive. I'm not kidding. The first week of training, I'm saying things to her there is no inheritance. You benefit nothing by killing me off now. But what I've gotten to do in the last 9 weeks was really look at some of the deeper stuff in my attitude and the hopelessness that I have felt entrenched in, not just 2020, but some other things going on around us. And it's I can control my attitude. I can run to the next telephone pole.
The first time she ran 10 minutes nonstop, we had a dance party in the middle of the road.
there's something about, I am still her mother. I cannot shame myself in front of my daughter. I cannot fall short. So if she says, you can go do this and it's not going to kill you and you might feel like you're going to die, but you won't. And we had a lot of talk about, how's your CPR card?
You have 911 on speed dial, right?
She's my daughter. I feel some obligation to show her what aging can look like and to continue to be that strong presence in her life, even though her strength just blows me out of the water. I felt like being able to run this was somehow going to show me, God, the universe, my community, my dedication to this hospice house, that I wasn't just talking it. I was gonna walk the walk or run the run. So we head off down the road, and I realized after I ran, the furthest that I had run before, that every step was a new personal best. By the time we turned around and headed back to the house, I'm like, I got this. I'm doing it. It's not just in my head anymore. I'm not just imagining, I'm really doing it. The last quarter mile or so, Olivia's going, so in a real race, this is where people would be clapping and ringing cowbells and you'd be really excited and you'd sprint to the finish.
I did make her sprint the last 10th of a mile of the 5K because that's what you do. I suggested that we could do that.
Totally optional. Mm-hmm. So it's invigorating and exciting and really empowering. And I don't do much in my life where I really pat myself on the back and say, hey, you did good, girl. But when I trotted into the driveway Saturday, it was like, oh my God, look what I did. It was an interesting progression to watch, Kelly, from you're trying to kill me by making me run for 60 seconds to turn the timer off, I've got this. Was just an amazing thing to experience and to feel and to see that even at, really, I'm a month from my 60th birthday, that we can recapture strength in our body and we can recapture cardiovascular health, and that there really is no place where the body will quit trying to be better than its current baseline. So from a whole bunch of different places, this has been an outstanding 10-week experience.
It's been incredibly cool to be a part of that journey and have it be my mom and watching her get stronger and feel more confident in her body. And I get to be a part of watching the woman that I watched growing up go through a lot. We have a family joke that we're never led merrily down the path of life. We're kind of kicked out of the airplane and like, hey, you got a parachute, I promise. That now, like this, with everything that's going on, being able to share the outlet that I have that I found so much strength in and watch her get to own that strength too has been pretty awesome.
I didn't have a best friend for a long time, so I had to make my own. Feel free to cut that just in case the other siblings do watch this.
Yeah, please, can we not add that drama to the holidays and COVID?